So I had some thoughts and I felt to record this. My eyes are a bit swollen because I've been crying. Uh, but the idea the idea is that every experience that is lived in unconsciousness will create a certain debris of pain. So every experience that we live without being fully aware of that experience, what it means, without having full 100% conscious awareness in and as that experience, will automatically create some form of pain. And that form of pain, like a debris or some sorts, will remain stuck in the energetic body. So basically, what experience is, what physical and conscious experience is here is just information. It's just information. Every physical happening, every event, every object. Let's take an object. Okay, let's take this. So this is just information. It's just information. But it's a special type of information. So this is cosmic information arranged in this specific format. The mind calls it a cup. But now, this physical, so any physical object, any physical event, any physical appearance is just an information. It's just information. It's just a word. It's just a message. It's like a message. It's like a communication, an expression. The entire physical universe is an expression, a message, a story that is being told by this cosmic entity, this cosmos, this universe. So this body is a message. This body is a letter. This cup is a letter. This cup is information. This body is information. This speaker is information. The sky is information. The atmosphere here is information. Everything is information. And the secret here is to ask, what is information then? If everything is information, what is information? So information it's the raw material of knowledge. Prior to being knowledge, and understanding. This substance of knowledge is, in its raw format, is having this format of information. So information is what knowledge is prior to being knowledge. And I'm not and I'm currently referring to true knowledge, like self knowledge. True knowledge is different than intellectual knowledge. True knowledge is almost the reason for why this entire creation exists in the first place. So true knowledge, or gnosis, let's say, is a special type of knowledge. It's knowledge about the self. And this knowledge about the self doesn't come in intellectual format or mental format. It comes as an experience, an evident experience, an evidence, an immersive knowing by being. So you know, true knowledge is only known by being it. So you are one with the knowledge that you know, quote unquote. It's far from being intellectual, it's embodied, it's evident through direct experience. And it's like knowing oneself, but not through mind, but through being oneself. So, true knowledge is knowledge about the self. And basically, when in this universe, in this cosmos, what happens is that by interacting with the physical forms this cosmos is able to express and emit, like this cup, this body, the room, the people, events, by being able to interact with the physical forms in this universe, you are able to interact and extract gnosis, self knowledge out of this interaction. So, this cup is just raw information until I create a connection with it, until I take the cup in my hand and I interact with it with an empty mind and completely visible, or let's call it true heart. Because I refrain from saying open heart, because everyone this says like having let's open our hearts and so, but it's the meaning of this is truly lost in my opinion, so I refrain from saying an open heart. But you have to be able to interact with the objects not through the mind but through the heart. And the heart, again, is not this woo-woo thing of love and light and puffy feelings and emotions. The heart is completely something different. It's not smiles and rainbows and stuff like this, although it can be that as well. But it's not by no means constrained to that expression only. So the thing is that we acquire true gnosis, true knowledge, true self-knowledge by interaction, by interacting with the forms that this universe produces, by entering into a relationship with these forms. What happens is that when I meet a certain form from this universe, like this cup, when I meet it with my heart, which is my true vision, which is my being opened, surrendered to the present interaction without zero past and zero future and zero mind and zero expectations. When I meet something in this way, this cup stops being only information, and that information is absorbed within the self and alchemized, transmuted into gnosis. So, by interacting with something, with anything from this physical universe in a true, real way, that is with zero mind, that is with true inner openness, surrender to the moment, to that interaction, the message that is contained within the information that is creating this cup is absorbed within the one who holds that awareness, is absorbed within one's being, and it's transmuted. That information, once awareness unites with information, you get knowledge, gnosis. That's the formula of gnosis. It's not only pure information like this, seeing a cup or anything else. Is when that information is united with the substance of one's awareness, true awareness, conscious awareness. And when information, which is unconscious by nature, meets awareness, which is the most fully conscious substance possible, so when unconscious meets conscious, that's when the magic happens. When information, which is dormant, which is asleep, meets awareness, which is conscious, then that information and awareness combined create gnosis, create self-knowledge. That's when we understand who we are by simply interacting with the environment around, with a cup, with a person, with an event. But usually, we don't interact in this way, in this reality. We merely interact not through awareness, not through true heart awareness, open presence, but through ignorance. So we meet the information around us with ignorance. We relate to it as another object. For example, I relate to the cup, which is unconscious information being displayed in this way, through my body, if I am identified as my body, as an unconscious object. So an unconscious object tries to relate with an unconscious object, and there is no gnosis that is produced. There is no true knowledge that is produced in this case. It's only unconscious interacting with unconscious and generating more unconscious. But when conscious interacts with unconscious, that's when the magic happens. That's when the alchemy truly happens. That's the real true nature of alchemy. It's when the two opposites of the world, matter and spirit, combine together. It's not only spirit or matter separately, but it's when they combine together, that's when the magic begins. That's when the true gnosis, the true revelations, true evidence of who one truly is can start to happen. So when reality or the universe is not met in this way as a conscious awareness to an unconscious sleeping universe, when one is not having this true awareness, conscious light opened within it, so it can meet the unconscious things around, and then the alchemy can happen with everything. Uh, it's only an unconscious self meeting another unconscious self. So it's a relation of an unconscious object to another unconscious object. And this creates what human beings have described as being pain. Pain is only the desire, the love to taste our true selves. It's nothing else than this. It's just our longing that becomes so heavy, that becomes so painful at some point, because we know deep within what we are capable of. We know deep within the potential that lies within us. And because as much as we go into this universe, into this cosmos for eons of time, not using that potential, it starts to weigh on us. It starts to feel a complete sense of missing and of lack, because we know we are here in this cosmos to wake up from inside of it, to wake ourselves up and interact with it in a conscious way. We are here to bring true awareness. We are here to bring the conscious awareness, to light this universe up from inside out. So we know this is the trait of having a human body and a human consciousness, is the idea that one carries true heart awareness, which allows one to unite the two poles of duality within the self. So the self becomes the ground zero, where everything, all the dualities, all the contrasts meet, and not only that they meet, but they alchemize together into a coherent whole, which becomes greater than the two parts separated. So we are here in this universe to make love with it from inside out, to meet its forms with our awareness. This universe is asleep, everything is asleep right now. And our bodies are asleep as well. They are part of this unconscious universe. Our minds and our souls are asleep. The entire human consciousness, which is this triune system of body, mind, and soul, is asleep right now. The only one who can awaken in this is the spirit self, which is the heart, which is different from the triune system. It's another level. It's the fourth dimension in a way. A different fourth dimension than the usual one, the temporal one. So the only one, the real alchemist within is the heart. The heart can unite and naturally understands the language of the triune system, the body, mind, soul system, and naturally can unite all the entire contrasts and contradictions, apparent contradictions and paradoxes and dualities of this realm. So the heart is the ground zero of reality. And the heart is the one who has true awareness, and where true awareness can open up. And this is how the heart can meet everything around, can meet this sleeping beauty we are in right now. We are in the sleeping beauty itself. This entire cosmos is dreaming. This entire cosmos is unconscious of itself. The only ones who have the possibility to awaken true consciousness and true awareness is the human consciousness. The heart of the human consciousness is the spirit that is here inside the human consciousness. And when the spirit awakens in a being, that's when true awareness is brought. That's when true consciousness starts to happen, and the things around are starting to be met with awareness. So then the awareness of the spirit, the awareness of the heart starts meeting the other objects which are asleep, which are unconscious. And then the alchemy begins. Because awareness, which is conscious, meets matter, which is unconscious, and then they fuse together. Awareness is the only one who has this capacity to do this, to fuse with matter, and so awaken matter to its true nature, and thus, by feedback loop, awaken the self as well. Because when matter awakens to its true nature, it releases itself, it releases the spirit, the essence captured within it. And so that essence, that spirit, unites back with the self. It's like retaking back the soul that was captured in the mirror.